of having a copy-pasted view-rect for the first enemy, for the second enemy, and we should change here current enemy to be 0 or 100 instead of using such variable, we can have a copy-paste, and this is horrible. You agree? I hope you agree. So instead I can have only one view-rect, and I can have a for loop before it, and its counter could be current enemy y. It could start from 0 and increase until it's less than 600. And now is interesting moment to choose a good value to add to current enemy, because if we have a current all the enemies to be 1 pixel over each other, then it's going to be really horrible, not penetratable wall of enemies. Instead, I want to have little spots between all those enemies. So I don't want this. You agree? This looks like one really tall enemy, but what we are really seeing here is 600 enemies, each of one starting on a different Y. So my solution is to change the step of this for loop. Instead of enemies on each pixel, I will want them to be on 100 pixels away from each other. You can see that this line of code could not fit in one line. I can reduce my font, or even if I let it the same, this might look like 2 lines, but it's 1 line of code. For simplicity, I will make it fit on one line, and let's see what is going on now. Let me remind you, there are 100 pixels between each enemy now. So we have an enemy starting from Y0, enemy starting from Y100, enemy starting from Y200, 300, 400 and 500. You can see that there is a good strategy for the player now to just stay on the bottom of the playing field, and he is not have any reason to try to go up. So how can I change all my enemies to be a little bit down from here? For example, the bottom enemy to be on the same Y as a player stepped on the 600, and to be able to hit it. Try to think of a way to move all those enemies a little bit down, and also try to make all this code that is now for just one of the enemies, and actually for which one of the enemies? Well, not really for any of them, because after each drawing, current enemy Y, this counter, has reached 600 to exit from the loop. And now we're actually checking for a collision between the player and such an enemy that does not exist in the playing field, because its Y is 600. So this if is totally wrong now to use current enemy Y without a for loop. Please make such a for loop just as you have in the draw. You will need the same loop for arc colliding in the update. Good luck!